Welcome everyone. Episode 3. Damn. Little break, but
What break?
I mean, break for us. We were pumping them out every other day.
Well, we did record one. No, we're on schedule. It's like every week. One a week.
I'm trying
You
to
get one a
hide,
week, people.
I'm trying to hide my late delay of the first episode, Dan.
Oh, you mean our preview show?
Yes.
That you dropped after so much already happened?
Look.
That like went against stuff we said. It just
Yeah.
made us look like bigger idiots.
I mean, I solidified our casual nature.
Makes
I
sense.
proved our casual.
You're going out of your way to prove how casual we are.
Yeah, like almost lazy at this point. Almost
No,
not
it's
even fans.
deliberate. It seems.
You know what? Just setting up a little.
You even went to L.A. or no? You went to Vegas first.
Yeah, let's talk about life real quick while I fix this mic and show my other producer casual.
Yeah. So you went to Vegas.
Yeah. Saw.
With a couple MMA fighters that were there, and you just didn't get a show. So obviously casual.
Look, I tried. They were busy. They wanted to do some gambling. You know how these MMA fighters can be.
Is Mickey a gambler?
No, but
I can't see Mickey being a gambler.
I don't think he can legally gamble. I guess they can non-sports gamble, right?
Dana's on the tables every day. I guarantee that.
Yeah, but he's not a fighter.
I'm sure you can bet on anything that's not, combat sports related.
So for all of you out there, I was in Vegas doing the Independence Funds veteran awareness.
You did the
speech
Tim
panel.
Kennedy show.
Dude, Tim. Talked to Tim's dad for a long time afterwards. Great human.
Tim's dad?
Yeah. Tim's dad
All
just
right.
volunteers now, and apparently Tim's dad can still shoot. Like they were out on the range together during range
I don't
day.
think you lose that
Really?
unless you have like Parkinson's,
And then you just.
shaken. Yeah, like Muhammad Ali, the end of his career, end of his life.
So you're saying Michael J. Scott not a good shot?
Maybe you adjust for that though, right? Because Michael J. Fox he's always had that.
Right.
So he's used to it and he's adapted. But if you were a prime athlete, prime boxer, and then you develop Parkinson's, yeah, you probably can't handle that well.
And you probably can't handle the iron, as they would say.
No. Big iron on his waist.
Yeah. No. So flew from SHOT Show, which was a great event. Got to see our friend Dan Holloway. Got to see Tim Kennedy. Got to see Hendo. Mickey Gall. News from Mickey Gall.
Is he fighting in Atlantic City?
Staying at 170.
Is he fighting or what? Like, what's happening?
Cannot confirm or deny.
Still working on it.
Can't confirm or deny. It'd be really bad to oust our.
We're not
friends
a
on the
breaking
show.
news show,
Yeah,
I guess.
no,
Yeah.
no.
It'd be weird if we were
Yeah, I don't think I can leak news on the
out
third
here
episode.
leaking news
Yeah.
to like 40 people.
He's already got to choke me out once, and I'm going to see him again. And
Oh, you haven't paid that bet yet.
you haven't paid that bet yet.
So if you're not familiar with our previous lives, Giorgio bet Mickey Gall that Izzy would just run train on Sean Strickland, which at the time was a popular opinion.
Yeah, most people. It was a very safe bet, as I would say.
Izzy was like a minus 500 favorite, and Mickey for some reason just had faith in Sean to get.
Yeah,
it
he was
done.
all on Sean, the Sean train since day one.
So you went on Mickey's show.
Yep, I
And-
went on Slick and Thick, and I was like, "Hey Mick, here's what's up. You're the casual," and he was like, "All right, son, I bet you a rear naked choke that Sean Strickland wins." So I took that bet. Clearly, I lost.
Because Sean's fighting in the Apex, like all the way up to his title run. I don't know if there's anything like it.
No, and when you're that much of an underdog, it's almost a superpower. I feel like because you got nothing to lose.
You have nothing. You're playing with house money.
Exactly. So I think a
So
wild man like Sean, when he lets it go,
He bet Mickey that if Sean won, he would let Mickey choke him out. And you've yet to pay your debts.
I have yet, but I will see Mickey again February 1st. So right around the corner. This episode will probably drop
Where's he going to be?
probably tomorrow. Only because I'm waiting on that cable.
Mm,
Yeah, little producer failure on my part.
you're done bad.
Dude, it was a rough week, and like I'm saying,
How much
so-
stuff did you lose when you left Vegas?
Yeah, left my shoes in Vegas, clearly. I also left a roll of SDI cable at the Vegas airport because some company who will... let's just gloss over that because I don't want to talk. So I had to leave some because of the weights of my bags. A Spirit Airlines wouldn't take my media pass, so all my bags had to be a certain weight. So I ended up having to leave a roll of SDI cable
Shit.
and then pack
This is
a
a
bunch
bad time to tell you I locked down a sponsorship.
First form?
Spirit Airlines. Damn it.
Well, thank you, Spirit, for potentially wanting to be a sponsor, and so sorry to see you go.
Nah, fuck them.
Yeah.
A la carte Air Mass.
No, my dad's a Frontier guy. He's double diamond platinum in Frontier.
It's because they got the animals on the plane.
Yep. And they go direct to Puerto Rico. It's like the only place
Dude,
in the world.
I have no obligation or any allegiance to any airline.
Except for Allegiant.
Yeah, true. Or the one that wants to pay us.
Right.
But I go with the cheapest flight. We have poor brain. I don't have like this airline credit card that racks up miles.
Yeah, and then I get free flights here and there and free baggage. I've just started to get onto that and cash in on those points.
I'm sure it's a great idea, but I'm just too dumb to do it.
Well, Dan, just pick one and sign up.
They all suck, though.
Just like you guys, if you're not signed up and subscribed, please like and subscribe to the channel. Apparently, it helps.
Also, the only direct flight from Austin to Philly is American. And I hate American.
Yeah, because we're an American hub. I chose American because I once hooked up with a stewardess on American.
Did you do it kind of like a high school kid deciding where he's going to college with the hats?
Exactly. I know it's more like a Harry Potter. They just kind of put it on.
Oh,
okay.
It
was a sorting hat.
And they talked to you.
Yeah.
How high were you?
That's extremely. I'm almost there right now.
It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Your parents are here in the house that we're recording it.
You know how I live, Daniel.
Did you light up a bowl with your dad? Like what?
Sometimes
Did you be like that sometimes?
Nelson Mandela took my drugs.
Yeah, I haven't had that exciting of a life. I've just been kind of hunkering down, saving up money, paying the tax man, because your boy, again, is terrible with money.
Well, you're cutting me off my story. So we're there. I fly from Vegas. Mm-hmm. These people want to hear about my life, Daniel.
I know. I'm just kind of I'm finding a gap.
Yeah.
And I'm inserting how pathetic my life is.
So you're like Sean Strickland, finding that gap and peppering that eye.
With my little Philly shell, yeah.
Right. And apparently the fans are calling for an immediate rematch.
Well, that's not going to happen. Like,
we know
it's just not.
It's just a narrative.
Also, I mean, if you want to, if you want to tease a topic later, there's no reason to be this upset. It was a good fight. And it could have went either way. I thought it was Sean, but DDP, I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
No, there's no reason to be like robbery.
No, setting up the narrative.
Just it's MMA, man.
Yeah, it's MMA.
Have fun. Have fun, guys.
Yeah, we'll circle back around that later. Flew directly to Anaheim. So one conference to another, from SHOT Show to NAMM, the National Music Makers of America, something, something, something. I can't read or do acronyms.
You can't spell. I don't think you're literate.
I don't either, bro. It's insane.
Our last graphic was you put real African champ and it was REEL. And then you're like, oh, no, I just spelt it like I thought South African would say it. I'm like, okay, bud.
No, real African champion.
No, we know you can't spell. It's fine. This is CTE at work.
No, it's on purpose to get people to comment on it. And
Giorgio has been dropped on his head so many times since he was a youth at those wrestling camps.
4 plus 4 is 7.
Close. You almost got there, bud.
With tip. You round up, right?
So you're saying 4 plus 4 is 7 plus a tip.
No, with the tip.
Which gets you to 8. Is that your logic? I don't know. I'm trying to follow your joke here. Let's break it. No.
No. John Madden on the board over here. He starts the joke. No, flew to Anaheim. Worked for Pioneer DJ, a great company. They had some fun new equipment being launched and some DJs doing some performances. Then I fly back to Austin for the cap off the weekend for the Longhorn Wrestling Open, in which I had 3 girls take first and absolutely crush it. I was exhausted. I had to use this software called Track Wrestling that's at least 15 years old, and I could not understand to save the life of me.
I went to my co-host on Softcore History's baby's first birthday party. So we had wildly different weekends.
I want to hear what a child's first birthday party is like.
As exciting as you think.
Break it down for me.
It's awful.
What happens?
People just drink.
Because the child could do anything. It could throw up, cry, shit, go to sleep.
It can't do anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Can't even walk. It's a little behind, all right? There's a second kid. I think he's a year old. I'm under the impression he should be able to walk by now.
I could walk at 1.
I don't know what ages are anything. Like, does he have teeth? I couldn't tell you.
I was starting my first TRT cycle at 1.5.
This is not important, though. How your girls won?
Yeah, they did. They looked really good. Mia Garza, returning national runner-up, looked really good from the underhook, knee picking people all day long, running a high single, finishing very quickly. So I was very proud of her.
Okay. Any of your guys win or no?
Jack took second, 157 pounder.
I didn't know if it was a UFC 297 situation with Canada.
Yeah, no. The guys did okay as well. The girls just seem to be really focused right now, and I want to shout out to the fastest growing sport.
Women's wrestling.
Yep.
That is honestly kind of a decent transition to, I think we can bring up the first topic. Obviously, we didn't talk about it last week.
No.
One of the big surprises for UFC 300, the rabbit out of the hat, Kayla Harrison.
At 135.
Fighting Holly Holm. She doesn't really have many choices. 135, 145. Trash divisions in the women's sport.
So, Kayla Harrison, if you don't know, signed to the PFL, former Olympic gold medalist.
Two-time Olympic
medalist. So, don't want to sell it short. Yeah.
In judo?
In judo. At the 172 and under. I don't know what the kilograms are.
She's so big. I have no idea how she's going to cut to 135.
She's been fighting 150 at
There's
PFL.
no fucking chance she's cutting to 135.
Well, we'll
Do you remember the Cyborg days when she, like, died?
Yeah.
I don't see Kayla making 135. But I think Holly accepted this fight knowing she's not going to make 135. And kind of like the hush-hush agreement that if she doesn't make weight, you still fight.
Skipping to the end of the conversation of that. So what happens if she doesn't make weight?
I don't think it matters.
Does she even lose part of her purse? What's her deal? And to explain to you who Kayla Harrison is, she was the PFL's biggest female star. She was the Amanda Nunes of the PFL. The Kayla Harrison-Amanda Nunes fight had been touted for a very long time.
Train together.
Yep. The Kayla Harrison Cyborg fight from Bellator was touted forever.
That was supposed to be the one thing PFL had right now in their back pocket. Like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, this giant event we're doing with Bellator, PFL. Yeah, we're not going to put Cyborg and Kayla Harrison on it. We're just going to save that for a later date. That's going to do numbers on its own, which, I mean, I don't know if it would.
So Kayla Harrison, trying to make 135, apparently has done a test cut.
Sure.
You know what that is, Daniel?
I imagine it's her just trying to make 135 in like a 2-week span.
Partially, maybe. A true test cut. A real test cut. You make weight. You rehydrate. And then 12 hours later, you go in there and you do 3 hard rounds with your best training partner. You'll get the full experience of how your body is going to react to what you're doing. In college, for 4 weeks, we had to make either 5 over, 3 over, and then down to 1 pound over, and then compete an hour later intramurally against ourselves to get our bodies used to making the weight, rehydrating, and having the ability to compete. Now, what we're saying is that she did a test cut, and I don't believe that.
And if she does it once, who's to say she can keep doing it?
She's okay. Let's bring up her previous quotes. She said she couldn't make one. Why she's not competing in the traditional PFL gauntlet or the way that they run their
the playoff system. The tournament.
What do they call it?
Who could say?
Tekken?
The tournament.
Mortal Kombat? Yeah. Who knows? Who could say? The reason she's not doing that is because she can't make 145 3 times in a 6-month span. She says she hasn't been 145 since high school. She's now trying to make 135.
She's a thick, muscular girl.
I mean, her traps are probably
she's gonna be depleted. She's also, lost a little luster since that Pacheco fight.
Yeah.
So, her record's not clean anymore.
No.
And
does she still draw?
Her best fights are probably still in the PFL with Cyborg and Pacheco again, the rematch.
Probably.
There's nobody. We've talked about this. Raquel Pennington at 135.
And do you
Juliana
bring back
Pena?
Megan Anderson?
Dude, it's just in a bad spot. I heard the idea of like having an open weight class above. Like we have 115, 125 open weight class.
Bring in Gabby Garcia?
Yeah.
All right.
Then we're talking. It's just like, who cares? Even like if they wanted to, Valentina could just move up and just fight somebody that's like 30 pounds heavier than her. Just make it open weight class.
You know what? I pitched that in our last show. I said, give me an over and an under of a certain weight and only have 2 weight classes.
No, because 115 and 125. 115 and 125 is too good.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, too good? Are we talking too good? Because you just talked about too bad. And how
for 135 and 145, yes. Once you get above 125, there's no point.
No. But I think that kind of mirrors the UFC in a whole as far as what we have talent-wise.
Comes in waves, though, right? Because everyone thought flyweight was trash when DJ was fighting. That's why they pretty much try to kill flyweight. And now it's one of the most exciting divisions in the sport. Every title fight for flyweight is a banger.
Yep. It's a war.
Yeah.
I think
these dudes are finishing each other now.
In the same way we got really bored with 205. When
205 is bad, though.
When Jon was dominating it for a long time. I think we're seeing the after effects of Jon. Just clearing that weight class out for a decade. And then, yeah, just the sport evolved in other divisions. And those are real interesting, and there's a lot of competition there.
Lightweight's still kind of relatively new-ish.
Yeah. I would say so. I mean, when was like the BJ Penn area when they were like basically making new weight classes for him to go down at?
Like after college, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
For us.
2012 era.
I guess
Frankie Edgar days.
During college, then.
Yeah, before he started coming down. I don't know if you want to talk about lightweight right now.
Fucking Frankie, Hall of Famer now.
I know.
Obviously, we didn't cover that. Weird that.
Can we cover the text of the things that people were saying about him?
Weird that he got inducted in Canada when he could have they should have done this in Atlantic City. No.
Yeah. Or during International Fight Week. Do they specifically always do the inductees at a certain time?
It has to be just like a pay-per-view thing. I don't know, dude. Yeah. Like Frankie though. I'm not like the biggest Frankie Edgar guy, but I respect him. He fought at 3 weight classes. Just a true like pound for pound guy.
I mean, how many titles did Frankie fight for?
135. I don't know if he fought 145, but 155. He just went up 20 pounds.
Yeah. Down.
He went from bantamweight to lightweight.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't think he ever fought. Like, he just jumped up 20 pounds.
Yeah. No, I think he fought at featherweight for a little bit.
He definitely fought at 145.
But he never fought for a title. No.
Who could say? We're casual.
Yeah, I'm super casual on Frankie. I just loved how they kept saying he was a great family man. And just like the most like generic descriptions of you at all.
Jersey fucking dude. Just a tough fucking working man, blue collar, tough neighborhood Jersey kid.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. Like
Tom's River.
We claim him though because he was close enough to Philly.
You're basically the same people.
The Northeast in general.
Right.
It's just a harder life up there. And not necessarily harder, but like we have this mentality that everyone's out to get us.
Mm-hmm. You're born with the monkey on your back.
Well, we have the biggest chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Absolutely none.
No. And we put too much of our self-worth and happiness into sports.
Yeah.
In teams that always let us down.
Always.
God, we're recording this a day after.
Yeah.
The fucking 49ers and Chiefs both won. And I can't think of a worse day in football. It's been a long time.
We knew it was going to happen.
2 of the most hateable franchises in sport today.
I mean, easily the most hateable quarterback ever.
Mahomes?
Yeah.
Dude, he went from like being super fun and lovable to just a total chotch.
Did you see that match cut of him and Kenny Powers?
Yeah. But like yesterday,
I got the guy from Soundgarden there. We had 4 pigs going.
Fucking Justin Tucker's just trying to warm up and like kick field goals, right? Like normal business and he's maybe the best kicker in the NFL ever. And Mahomes just keeps throwing his stand away. It's like, dude, move. Like, there's only so many spots he can kick from. You can throw from anywhere.
Also, how do we not have designated areas yet on the sidelines for these things?
I don't know.
Like, how is it not more organized? Football is... But we love football here.
I just can't stand the Chiefs anymore. Good for Andy. I'm an Eagles fan. I love Andy Reid. But, man, did he must have sold his children to the devil or something to be this successful.
Yeah. Yeah, and Mahomes just turns it on and outplays every quarterback again,
despite having weapons.
Yeah,
And everything's a psyop though, according to certain people. But like Taylor Swift is a psyop.
yeah.
I guess, man. Life's not that exciting. Just isn't.
No, definitely not. Also, my dad, he said she might be fugly, so he's on Team Dan, anti Taylor Swift.
She's hot.
Yeah, that's why
She's objectively attractive.
Yeah,
Like she's not our type, right? Not what I go for typically, but
no,
she's hot.
Yeah, objectively attractive.
She's fine. She's talented. She does her thing. She's a billionaire.
It's as controversial as the 155 weight class, Dan.
Okay.
And who is the number one contender there?
Well,
because right now we think Arman Sarukian versus Charles Oliveira.
It's the number one contender fight, but
when did Justin Gaethje release his number one contendership? And he's also fighting one of the most decorated fighters in the UFC in a fight that's above the fight that we're claiming is the number one contendership. Well, how can you have two fighters at a weight class fight later in the card for a title and say that's not the number one contender?
Well, Gaethje was supposed to be the number one contender, and then he just took this fight because he was bored.
Does that mean he loses the number one contendership?
If he loses? What if he loses the Max? I know it's not going to happen. I think Gaethje, I'm going to feel really bad for our boy Max. One of my favorite fighters of all time.
What? What if Max Holloway wins, Dan?
Then he gets a fucking title shot.
That's what I'm asking.
They're both number one contender fights. Because here's what can happen, Giorgio. You can just wait.
Can you?
Colby waited 2 years.
So you're saying if everyone else in the division loses to each other and you just don't fight. It's the Fabian strategy of the UFC. I love it.
If you are Justin Gaethje, you beat Max, you wait for a title shot. It doesn't matter what order you're in, but you will eventually get a title shot. Just because of his resume and who he's beaten and how he's built up the last couple times. I mean, he knocked out Dustin Poirier, beat fucking Fiziev. Mm-hmm. He beats Max. Yeah, his next fight will be for a title. Whether or not that's before or after Charles or Arman, it doesn't matter.
I have never seen a fighter flip so much as Charles Oliveira. And this is twice now. He flipped from a journeyman to a world beater. And I don't want to say he's flipped again, but it seems like he doesn't want to fight.
Not really. He was supposed to fight at Islam, and then he got
twice.
No, it was once. He got he fought him the first time. The second time, he got cut in the eye.
He did, and then apparently they were scheduled to fight again.
No,
behind closed doors. No.
All right, no chael shit. No, we're no more chael stuff.
We're at 4, Dan. 4 times has Charles Oliveira been offered Islam.
That's not true though, because once Gaethje knocked out Dustin, he was the guy. He was up next. He just couldn't turn over quick enough, so they threw Charles in.
Then why isn't Arman Sarukian fighting Justin Gaethje right now?
It's an easy solution because it's you're almost punishing Charles for missing that fight against Islam.
By making him fight again to earn a number one contendership that technically already goes to Justin Gaethje?
Well, he was supposed to fight Islam. He was, I guess, quote unquote, the number one contender. Missed his fight. So they're kind of, it's like a little punishment where it's like, all right, you got to fight Arman, who knocked out Beneil in like 20 seconds. And you kind of like solve two things. Like, you adjust on the fly. Just because somebody did something, you still have to.
Yes, and
other circumstances happen where you have to kind of adjust and make the proper moves.
I agree that we viciously adhere to the rules that we make up on the spot.
Yeah, the UFC has nothing to do with meritocracy. It is who is convenient and who is available. The best ability is availability.
Is that how Chimaev went from the highest prospect in the UFC to not even being talked about?
Because Chimaev doesn't fight anymore. He doesn't fight anymore. And he should just fight Sean.
He should.
If Sean wants a path back to the title, just fight Chimaev and beat Chimaev.
Or wait.
He could just wait, yeah.
Because right now, you got the rumblings of an immediate rematch. I mean, I know the UFC doesn't want it, but the fans want it.
I'm telling you
Twitter
right now,
wants it.
DDP, Izzy, headliner, UFC 300. It's going to happen. Especially because of all the shit that came out with Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar. If they were trying to do the whole like Brock Lesnar comeback, that ain't happening anymore.
It ain't happen. We still don't know what it is, and I don't think it can be anybody but GSP.
It's not GSP. It's DDP and Izzy. That's got the most heat on it. That would, UFC 300 is going to sell no matter what. But that is a appropriate main event for that.
Okay, so before we get away with this 155 talk, though, what happens? Dustin Gaethje wins. Arman Tsarukyan wins. Who fights first? Who fights Islam first? Because right now, Islam has already announced when he's fighting, which is in July and then in New York in November, correct? He's basically came out and said he's going to fight twice this year.
Definitely not fighting in New York. He's going to fight in Dubai. And Dubai's in the fall.
That's the November date. Then New York is the January or the July date?
Maybe November or December. But July could be...
there's a Madison Square Garden date that he's already brought up that he wants to headline.
I'm pretty sure John wants that. John and Stipe is probably going to be MSG.
I could see both of them being there. That's a great card then. MSG is a big building.
Yeah, but Islam's not going to be second fiddle. He's just not. And anytime you have a card in the Middle East, you just have Islam headline.
No, agreed. But there are more and more Magomedovs coming through the division.
Yeah, but they're not all this good.
That's true.
Some of them stink. I know it's hard to fathom.
We got one
fight Dagestani being bad.
We got one fight on a fight night card coming up. We can get to that later.
Also,
an undefeated one.
No, yeah. We'll see.
But back to 55.
There's a Saudi Arabia card that's going to be in the summer. Mm-hmm. That I don't know.
That might be the July one you're talking about.
It is a fight night. Supposedly, eventually it could be. If they get Islam to headline that, though, it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I feel like they use the Saudis as like an easy card. You know what I'm saying?
The Saudis are not going to accept a bullshit card.
No, but it is going to be.
They're just not. They actually had to move the date. They were supposed to do the Saudi card in March, but the card wasn't good enough, and the Saudis are like, fucking come back when you find something that's worthy of us. They don't fuck around. They spend too much money.
They do. Getting real cozy with them, too, apparently.
They're just taking over.
Yeah.
Just accept it. Like I'm also a giant golf fan. I don't know how big of a crossover there is with golf and MMA, but they bought golf. They bought soccer to a certain degree.
Yeah, Ronaldo came out and said that the quality in the Saudi league is better than the quality in the French league.
That's just not true. No. It's propaganda, but you have to. They pay you $250 million. You got to say that bullshit.
And they've been buying every old pro that's over the hill.
Yeah, but that was the MLS strategy.
But they didn't buy enough of them. MLS tried to do some American sports and put a cap on it and said you could only have 3.
Can't do that. Yeah, no cap.
Nope. No cap, son. Back to 55, though. Who fights him first? Arman or
It doesn't
Dustin?
matter.
Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. Islam beats both.
Probably agreed for that. Is this division
and
held
then
up
moves
until...
up to welterweight.
Yeah, moves up to welterweight.
Even though, I hate Twitter now, but there's, all these, bots that are like, oh, actually, welterweight's going to move up to 175, and then they're going to create this weird 165 belt so Conor and Chandler can fight for that new belt.
At UFC 300?
Anywhere. It doesn't matter. But that... I guess, man. If you want to make more weight classes, that's fine. If you want to just
about that.
Create belts for the sake of creating belts and just letting Conor fight for something, I guess, or just any older lightweight that wants to move up, and they can all the guys that were squatting on their spots, the Dustins, the Chandlers, the Conors, let them fight for their own fake belt. Who cares?
We can call it the Nate Diaz weight class.
We're doing it with the BMF belt too. I don't care. I like it. Do more gimmicks. Create the Intercontinental belt. I love wrestling. Just go full in with. They're all pointless. Who cares about
the American versus the World Intercontinental belt?
Yeah, the European title. You have the fucking. You could have a Dagestani belt.
Oh god, that's hilarious. Oh man, that's funny.
But dude, Islam.
Dana, give him all a belt. He's just an Oprah meme with Dana.
Islam doesn't care who fights first. He could fight Gaethje. He could fight Charles. He could fight Arman. He's just line him up. I'll knock him down.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can mess with him.
No one's on his level. No one can touch him. I think Gaethje's the most interesting fight for him. Or Arman again. Run that back. Charles, I think Charles just gets smoked again.
Me too.
He'll beat Charles in a round.
And Islam doesn't want to fight Charles, and Charles doesn't want to fight Islam. The UFC is the one who keeps pushing it.
Dude, Charles definitely wants to fight for the belt. He's not.
He's been
ducking
offered
the
it
belt.
4 times.
It's not true. That's just not true. It's just not true. He got cut. Like that's it. They were trying to reschedule it. Probably didn't work out, and then they're like, "Fuck you. You get arm on now." That's just what it is. Are you trying to read your notes, like what to do next?
Well, we've covered the back end of the show, and I wanna bring up another thing we're gonna talk about. So the fight night cards, do they suck? Is there enough quality in the UFC to go around?
No, but they have a deal with ESPN. They got to put on so many shows, like what, 44, 45 shows a year. Yeah, nobody has a roster that deep. It's fighting. Like dudes get hurt, dudes get injured. Dudes just can't fight every other week like some psychopaths do. Like Sean used to do it all the time. But yeah, dude, they're not deep enough to do 45 shows a year.
Why?
Get rid
I
of
guess
the
my
Apex.
question is why?
The Apex should really only be contender series, like you said in the text, like minor league stuff. And
yeah, I want to fill it with drunk Vegas fans who are just there on vacation.
Yeah,
you can get in for $15 instead of $100.
If you have any hint of stardom or notoriety, there's no reason for you to be fighting in front of 12 fans.
It really is like bottle service at a club that no one really wants to go to anymore.
I miss the days where they would go to like these just dog shit towns, put on a fucking banger show, like go to like, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Yeah, you know how many MMA events I've watched in Hooters parking lots?
Get back to your roots, baby.
Are you too good? Are you too good for America?
You know what it is? The Apex is cheap.
To produce the event? Yeah. Everything's in-house. And
that's why they do it.
Yeah.
And you have that fucking antitrust lawsuit in the background that's supposed to maybe get concluded by UFC 300.
Let's hope.
I think that's kind of driving a lot of this. It's like, if we have to pay something out, we'd rather not spend the money on production for the next couple of years.
Yeah, and it's like their contingency plan in a way, if everything goes to hell.
This is them doing what I'm doing now and budgeting.
Yeah, same.
My life is the Apex Center.
I also have a calendar now. Feels like I should have had that before I know.
Like for your work? Like a work calendar?
And life.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't read it because we've discussed earlier in the show that I'm illiterate.
Right.
But I have it.
But you know kind of dates.
Right. I moved my little guy forward one day.
You bought an advent calendar. It just gives you a little piece of chocolate every day.
Yeah. Tells me what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then every time I complete a task, I get another piece of chocolate.
A reward system. I like that.
For myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people need it. I don't. I'm built different.
Yeah. You're self-driven, Dan. Self-motivated.
I'm not. I'm really lazy. Yeah. I get my own way all the time.
You are the copying your homework from your friend right before class of life.
I decided to give up on jiu-jitsu because I was like, no, I will stand. I will stand.
Speaking of some jiu-jitsu, I'm about to bring up this fight night's main event. 2 amazing fighters.
Oh, man.
What?
We're going to have to watch this. Man, I will, but not happily. Not happily.
Why not?
Why do you like Roman Dolidze so much?
I think Roman Dolidze is going to be a future champion.
No, he's not. He lost to Marvin Vettori, dude.
Yeah?
His last fight was Marvin Vettori. Oh, over the hill Marvin Vettori.
I think he has the makings to be a future champion because of his ability to fight off bottom.
His best win is like Jack Hermanson.
Oh, he destroyed.
Jack Hermanson's not good.
Isn't he?
He's fine.
Headlining the next fight night card?
Jack Hermanson to me at this point is just kind of like Paul Craig-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with that.
Just doesn't do anything.
Why are you hating on Paul Craig? Paul Craig is one of the only men to beat the former lightweight champion.
Who we saw, he snapped Jamal Hill's fucking arm. But that was because Jamal Hill was stupid. Don't go down with fucking Paul Craig. I think he would even admit that, that was pretty fucking dumb of me.
So Roman Dolidze is the only other guy in the UFC who I could see pulling guard. He's that good with the heel hooks, his transition to the arm bars, the pendulum sweeps he has from there. What he's doing with the K-guard, you really can't... The way he does that knee shield in the K-guard, it's really hard for anyone to get over top of him and ground and pound. And this is where I see
All right.
Am I getting too deep right now?
What are the ramifications of this fight? Like, what are the stakes? There are none.
It puts him back. Both of these guys have had pretty decent records. I think they've each won 3 of their last 4. Both of them can be put back in a trajectory for a title. You looking up their records right now?
No, I'm just seeing kind of the last couple of fights. Delize beat Hermanson. He beat fucking Phil Hawes. Everyone beats Phil Hawes.
Destroyed Phil Hawes.
Yeah, but Phil Hawes has no chin.
Fair.
He's the Crimson Chin.
I wanted to bring that up too. Phil Hawes felt like a better win 2 years ago than it feels now.
It's not good. Nasruddin, he had a no contest against Chris Curtis, lost to Sean Strickland, beat Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah.
He's fine. Beat Shabazian. Shabazian's not very good.
You were so high on Shabazian.
He's young.
Danielson, do we have to run back that tape from the old show?
I believe in, potential.
And that's what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about modern jiu-jitsu breaking its way into MMA finally.
For the record, I do not believe in Shabazian anymore.
No.
That train is come and gone.
Yeah.
I hopped off long ago.
Remember when I was on the Patty Pimblett train?
That's a giant indictment of you. You should have known. He was bad.
No, this is before he came over. And it was just the highlights of him in the orange shorts.
Before he came over, he was getting hit. He was getting dropped in like
Cage Warrior.
Yeah.
I was high on the Pimblett. The flying arm bars were
You know what? If they just keep feeding him, cans, he'll be fine.
No, he needed to get significantly better very quickly. And also, he needed to study exactly what Sean O'Malley did. I'm not saying he would have been a champion, but he should have at least taken that course of action.
Dude, bring back BJ Penn. That's Patty's next fight.
Oh, that'd be great. Patty just fights every dude at 55 who's washed now.
Yes. Frankie, come out of retirement. Let's go.
It's not even a gatekeeper. He's just like the dude checking you in at the retirement home.
He goes on a Legends tour.
Yeah. Jim Miller comes back again.
Like, if you'll look back in 20 years, be like, you look at his resume, not knowing that how washed these guys are, and be like, oh, wow, Patty was a fucking one of the best. And it's like, no, they were all 55.
Yeah. These dudes were literally in wheelchairs, like on the way to the cage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
I don't know. This Apex doesn't do anything. Roman Delize doesn't get my day card. It's just another day, another dollar for the UFC.
I'm real high on Roman Delize. I'm high on some modern jiu-jitsu. He's got some ankle locks there and some heel hooks that I think could be very interesting. But this depression, Dan, this sadness you have, it's very...
Next couple Apex cards are trash, but it's going to get us to UFC 298.
Well, you're sad. You know who else is sad? Jon Anik.
I don't know why he ran this back. There's no reason to apologize, my guy. In fact, terrible move apologizing. You gave in to the terrorists, John.
But he is one of them. He is one of us. He is a fan. And the reason Jon Anik's voice has been so comforting and so pivotal in MMA.
Yeah, he's the best to do it, right? He's the best in the sport.
And we're really going to miss him when he's gone, and treating him like this. And
his brother's really good too, but...
All I'm saying is that
his brother has hair.
Should we do more as fans? And should we be better?
No. This is exactly what the sport is. It's the same with the NFL. NFL, UFC, most major sports, once they get into the giant zeitgeist of
modern culture, I guess.
Yeah, just kind of a little bit more of a casual fan. It's full of just trash people.
Yeah. That have nothing else but their team. But I love those people. Those people are what make the sport great.
It's politics too now. It's just the way of the world. People choose a side. They ignore the facts. They ignore anything that goes against their narrative or beliefs. And they just double down. And that's the American way, baby. So, John, it's fine. But here's the thing. You went against your initial reaction. You didn't double down. You are anti-American. You simply gave in to the terrorist. You can't be doing that, my guy. I love you, but stop. Once you say something, You got to own it. You should never go back on your word. Just like I did 5 minutes ago with Shabazian.
And on that, this has been a great episode 3.
That's called setting up a joke, buddy.
Yeah. Dun, dun, again, like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining us here. We will be adding more clips and other content to the channel soon.
I can't imagine this is the most listened to or watched episode. Again, this is the Roman Delise Day episode.
Roman Delise Day, future champion. You're hearing it now. We'll run the tape back.
In no world will he be a future champion.
I'm watching the way the sport is evolving, Dan, and he's doing the things that are right to move forward.
He is going to just get, like, starched by, like, a Jared Cannonier.
No, I think even if he gets dropped or taken down, he's good off his back. He hits hard. Yeah, he probably needs to move his head a little bit more, keep his head off the center line. Could do a little bit better with switching stances and his little movement around the cage. Charges in a little too much.
Middleweight's also just too fun now.
Middleweight is just wide open.
It's too fun now. Like, he's just, there's no path for him to go to get a title shot.
18 months to get, or 12 months to get have a title shot.
You're picking him to be a future champion when we have fucking Bowie Nix on the way.
Yeah, I think Bo gets there first, and I think it's a good fight between them.
Dude, I understand. Maybe it's a little top heavy of a division, but he ain't getting a title shot, my guy. He just isn't. He's never getting there. He's not going to string enough wins together.
We could have said the same thing about Sean.
No, Sean was, again, the best ability.
Availability.
And on that note.
Yep. Thank you all.
Later.